That up there wasn't just a caption to get your attention. That is my reality. One minute I had a thriving business that was making over 10 million naira per annum, and the next is a failing business. I went through the waves, I went through all kinds of emotions, and I'm especially proud of myself for being here right now to talk about this. Like, you have no idea. I had all kinds of thoughts in my head, but I'm glad I'm no quitter and I'm here to tell my story. My name is Ilei, and I'm the CEO and founder of Fantasy Foods. It's a restaurant co-owned by myself and Chef Ada, who also happens to be my mom. So let me start the story from the top. I started Fantasy Food 6 years ago, 2018. I was dispatching food from the house to offices and just doing events here and there as many will come my way. January 2020, I moved the business out of the house to a plaza where I was sharing space with someone who was doing bakery and I was running food. So we're running the business together in the same space coherently. But unfortunately, business wasn't doing so well for the bakery people, so they had to move. And that was left for me to now pay for the whole space, which was almost 2.53 million at the time, and I couldn't afford it. So that made me leave. I approached a friend of mine into partnering with the business, and he bought into the idea and came in as a partner and as an investor. So the next big idea was to bring in Chef Ada, aka my mom, who was already an established chef and at the time was in Ghana running an Italian restaurant there, running her life peacefully. I decided to pull her out and say, please beg. We had months and months of discussion for me to convince her. And when she finally agreed and came, she helped run the business. In 2021, he came on board and we got a garden. And I tell you, that was the best year of business. Just a few clips of how everything went in that garden. It was so beautiful. We're selling food. It was basically a la carte. We're running events. People were coming to do their events there. It was so beautiful. I was bringing in friends who were into different franchise entrepreneurs, clothing, jewelries, bangles, whatever you can name. And in 2021, I made sales of over 10 million naira for that year. Best year ever. In 2022 May, my landlady came and said she was increasing the rent of the place. Very ridiculous amount she was asking for, and it wasn't going to work. We decided to negotiate. It went back and forth, back and forth. No agreement was reached. And my rent was expiring that year in June, I believe. And I had to leave again. I had to. It was the most heartbreaking thing for me ever. But I had no choice. It was almost like 200% increment on the rent that she was asking for, and there was no way I could have been able to pay for it. Now let me explain the business and accounting side of it all, especially when you're partnering with somebody. The first year I made my biggest sales. Like I said, we already have a partner, so there are 3 of us now. At the end of the month, what happens is, by the time purchase and miscellaneous buying and all of that is removed, whatever is now left, I will pay salary. I had like 2 staff then. Then I will now remove a percentage that is supposed to make up the person's investment, which I was returning to him at the end of the year. I was setting aside a percentage to make up that amount every month. By the time I set that aside, I will set the rent aside as well. Whatever I was to pay for the rent at the end of the year, I was setting the percentage every month aside for it as well. So at the end of the month, at the end of the year, the business will be able to pay the rent and pay the investor. So whatever is now left will still be shared between the 3 partners, which is me, the chef, and the investor. So we're doing that for 1 year. So this 10 million naira now is being distributed between purchase, salary, rent, investment. So what is now left is not much for the 3 investors. I'm telling you, I'm still sharing profit with my investors. So I do not actually have much left for us. The hope was, let's finish with these people at the end of 1 year, then business can start. because whatever my investor invested in the business is what we used to buy a lot of the things and to pay the rent and just to make the business, like bring the business to the standard that it was. So in 2022, the landlady is asking me to leave. So you can imagine how disappointing and how heart-wrenching it was for me, because business is only just about to start. It's funny to me now, but I was running crazy. There was no side appeal, no offer thrown at this woman was being accepted by her. She wanted what she wanted for the rent at that time, and that wasn't going to work, obviously. Even if we wanted to, we didn't have that much saved, because we're not expecting to pay that high of a rent. The last month before the expiration of my rent, I had to start looking for another space to move. But either the price is really high or there was just no good space. You know, if you're looking for space, you have to consider location. I was already in a particular vicinity, which was Guarimpa. I needed business to be around there, because if I was moving anywhere outside that, that would be like starting completely afresh. So when no place was got, June came, July came, and I had to leave. People advised me to stay. Drag this with this woman. You are entitled to stay at least 3 months, 6 months, whatever to drag. But this woman is one crazy human being. She will come and scream and scream and scream. And that wasn't something that was going to work for me. Personally, I cannot thrive like that. I cannot work in an environment like that. I cannot work where I have to be worried about this woman coming. My clients, my customers are sitting and she's coming to make trouble. It wasn't a vision I had for myself. So just to avoid trouble, I left. I had to move my stuff to 2 different locations to hang up until I'm able to get a space. After a month just hanging in the air, not doing anything, customers calling, people calling, what happened, I thought of the best option, which was to get a small space in corner shop Guarimpa, where I can just at least be running deliveries from there, just exactly what I was doing from the house before. And just when we're settling in corner shop and just trying to pick up, like call everybody back, just make everyone aware, my customers aware, this is what is happening, naira policy happened. That was January, February, and that was the beginning of the end. Business became really bad. Sales was so low. We're already missing out on the people who are supposed to work in, because we do not have enough space for people to sit down, relax, chill, just, you know, that vibe that was already missing. So the delivery we're supposed to be doing in a moment wasn't just happening anymore, because everyone was going through hell. Nigeria was showing everyone shaggy. And just when everything was about stabilizing, there was a change in government, and that means a change in policies. Subsidy was removed.
Let be poor, breathe.
Everything went up. Everything went up from there. And the business went down, 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 down. So now we are in August. The rent of this corner shop is just about expiring. Sales it hasn't been good in the year that we've been here. So there's no question that this place is bad for business already. For my brand, the corner shop wasn't going to work, isn't going to work. So I cannot renew here. So the dilemma now is, what do I do? Where do I run to? Why is there nothing in place to help people? Oh God. Like us. Why is there nothing in place to help boost businesses? Meanwhile, let me not forget to add that I tried accessing loan in a bank, but that was impossible. I did everything possible for almost 3 months. I was chasing to get a loan from the bank. Imagine opening an account. Imagine because the bank I was running my business account with from the start, from the get-go, couldn't meet up. So there was a possibility of getting a loan with another bank, which was a new bank. So I had to open an account with them, do all the processing, FRS. I had my CAC, all of that in place. So I had to start getting TIN number. You know, the TIN number, I had TIN number in short, but the TIN number, they said I had to upgrade or something to Pro Mass. I did all of that. I went to FRS several times. All of this involved transportation, printing out stuff, just the list goes on. Like, it was hectic. But at the end of it all, the loan wasn't given to me. So at every point, I was losing money, but I wasn't making money. So here I am. Now, that is my horror story. The question now is, who is to blame? What happened? Where was my fault in all of this? Really, like, I really would love to know. Maybe I made a move in all of this story that I told that wasn't the right move, and I would like to know. I just want to say thank you for listening to me. I don't know if that helps anyone, but I do know that it helped me or it is helping me. So whatever advice you have to give to me in the comment section, I'll be reading through them and I'll be taking notes and updating you guys on how the business is growing and moving forward from here. Do not forget to subscribe to yours truly. Thank you. Mwah.